Harley Race became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion for the 7th time after defeating Ric Flair in June of 1983. Jim Crockett Promotions created the first large-scale wrestling event, broadcast live on closed-circuit television. The first Starrcade was set to take place on Thanksgiving night of 1983 at the Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, meaning the inevitable rematch would be in Flair's backyard. In the months leading to Starrcade, Race placed a $25,000 bounty on Flair that Dick Slater and Bob Orton Jr. collected when they attacked Flair in a match with Race, delivering a spike pile driver and severely injuring his neck. However, Flair would return following his injury to seek retribution from Race, Slater, and Orton, undaunted by his quest to regain the coveted title. Another former world champion, Jack and his brother, Jerry Briscoe, were once allies to Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood until the World Tag Team Championships came between them, leading to an attitude change in the Briscoes. They defeated Steamboat and Youngblood for the titles in June as well, and engaged in a feud all the way into Starrcade, where Steamboat and Youngblood looked to become champions for a 5th time. In another blood feud, Greg Valentine severely injured Roddy Piper during a United States title match using a ring bell. The bitter hatred simmered through the spring into the summer, and by the fall, began to boil over, leading to a dangerous dog-collar match. Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant lost a loser leaves town match to the Great Kabuki. However, he would return, allegedly, under a mask and was granted a television title match against Kabuki under the stipulation, should he lose, he must unmask. Wahoo McDaniel came to Ric Flair's aid to battle Orton and Slater, in preparation for Flair's title match with Race. Mark Youngblood teams with Wahoo to face them in tag team competition, while Carlos Colon and Abdullah the Butcher continue their bitter rivalry in a singles match, plus 2 additional matches, set to take place at the first ever Starrcade. The first ever Starrcade opened with a tag team battle featuring the Assassins, number 1 and number 2, against Rufus R. Jones and Bugsy McGraw. Jones and McGraw initially took charge, but number 1 used an eye rake on Jones. Despite number 2's continued attacks, Jones retaliated with a headbutt. McGraw then entered the ring and battled both Assassins. However, while McGraw was slamming number 2, number 1 pinned him from behind, securing the win for the Assassins. The second match was a tag team contest featuring Johnny Weaver and Scott McGhee against Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin, who had Gary Hart with them. The match began evenly until Sullivan and Lewin focused on McGee's left arm. Weaver then turned the tide with a bulldog on Sullivan, but Sullivan countered, leading to Lewin dropping a knee on Weaver's arm. Lewin pinned Weaver for the win. Afterward, Lewin and Sullivan attacked McGhee, injuring his forehead with an object. Angelo Mosca tried to assist McGhee but was also attacked. The third match featured Carlos Colon against Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah started strong, using a weapon to control Colon. Colon fought back, even using Abdullah's weapon against him. Abdullah then knocked down the referee. Colon managed to apply a figure 4 leg lock, but with the referee out, Hugo Savinovich interfered, hitting Colon with a foreign object. This helped Abdullah pin Colon and win the match. The fourth match was a tag team battle featuring Wahoo McDaniel and Mark Youngblood against Dick Slater and Bob Orton Jr. Youngblood started strong but was taken down by Slater. Slater and Orton dominated until Slater accidentally hit Orton. Youngblood managed some drop kicks, but Slater and Orton teamed up against him. Orton performed a superplex on Youngblood, leading to a pin and win. Afterward, Slater and Orton attacked McDaniel, targeting his left arm. The fifth match was a title versus mask match between Charlie Brown and the Great Kabuki, who was with Gary Hart. Kabuki defended his NWA Television Championship, while Brown defended his mask throughout the match. Brown started strong, using the ring post and a steel chair. He applied a chokehold, but Kabuki countered with a claw hold. The match continued until Kabuki missed a kick, allowing Brown to pin him after an elbow drop, winning the match and the title. The sixth match was a dog collar match between Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine. It started with both wrestlers going back and forth, with Valentine focusing on Piper's hurt left ear. Piper took control using the chain, but Valentine fought back and choked Piper. They continued to exchange blows until Valentine hit an elbow strike and dropped from the turnbuckles. Piper countered by pulling Valentine down and then pinned him using the chain. After the match, Valentine attacked Piper again, choking him with the chain. The seventh match was a tag team showdown for the NWA World Tag Team Championship, featuring Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat against Jack and Jerry Briscoe, with Angelo Mosca as the special guest referee. The match included several back-and-forth moments until Jack executed a double underhook suplex on Steamboat. The Briscoes initially took control, but after Jerry argued with and pushed Mosca, Youngblood and Steamboat turned the tide. They performed an aided splash, allowing Youngblood to pin Jerry and win the match and the title. Afterwards, the Briscoes attacked Youngblood, Steamboat, and Mosca, but they defended themselves. The main event featured a steel cage match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship between Ric Flair and Harley Race, with Gene Kiniski as the special referee. Flair started strong with a headlock, but Race targeted his head and neck. Race used a pile driver and banged Flair's head into the cage. Flair fought back with a pile driver of his own, a belly-to-back suplex, and a figure 4 leg lock. Race escaped and retaliated with a headbutt from the turnbuckle. Flair then knocked Race's head into Kiniski's before performing a body press and pinning Race to win the match and the title for the second time. In the aftermath, Starrcade would become an annual event for Jim Crockett Promotions and later, World Championship Wrestling. The closed-circuit broadcast would eventually become pay-per-view until the year 2000, just before WCW was purchased by the World Wrestling Federation. Jimmy Valiant returned after a 90-day period, but was forced to vacate the television title after dropping the Charlie Brown gimmick. He then engaged in a years-long feud with Paul Jones and his stable. Mark Youngblood would win a tournament for the vacant title, before losing to future Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, while Abdullah the Butcher and Carlos Colon's rivalry would go on for over a decade. Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood vacated the World Tag Team Championships after Steamboat briefly retired, but would return to focus on singles competition. Greg Valentine lost the United States Championship shortly after Starrcade, as both he and Roddy Piper would leave for the WWF. Wahoo McDaniel would increasingly become jealous of Ric Flair, as he felt entitled to a world title opportunity, especially after winning the US title. Harley Race's reign ended, and though he would contend for the title again, began to wind down his in-ring career. Ric Flair's second world title reign came to an end at the hands of Kerry Von Erich the following May, but would regain the title before months end in Yokosuka, Japan. Despite periodical losses, Flair would reign as NWA World Champion until 1991, when he'd leave for the WWF.
I might just stick around for another 20 years.